Break Candy!
Woo! Hello, friends.
Episode 826. Hello. Back
Oh,
from the
man.
old world.
Suze, I miss you so much.
I missed you too. I don't like being away from you. I don't like being separated by international borders.
I agree. And here's the thing that you know, it's a mistake and you learn from your mistakes, and I won't do it again.
Uh-oh.
I should have taken notes on important and funny and whatever else things I needed to tell you.
Oh, no. Do you feel
Because
like
now I don't remember.
they're
And there were
gone
so
forever?
yeah, it was like this. It was like, oh my God, I can't wait to tell her about this. And then I just was like, how am I'm not going to forget that. Which
Right.
you might as well put on an ADHD person's tombstone. Like, here
I would
lies
never
Sarah.
forget that.
She would never forget. Like.
Oh, well. I bet they'll come to you, and then you can pepper them in over time.
Yeah. So next time I'm just going to write a list of these are the funny things that I have to tell Susie about. And a few of them I remembered, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
maybe they'll be peppered in over time. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was a long time, and I didn't like it one bit. I mean, I liked the trip and everything. I just didn't like being divorced from you temporarily.
Right. Yeah.
But we had a lovely trip. Glad to be home. You know, the same old trite.
Yeah. How's it over
Platitudes.
there?
Well,
In jolly
as
old-
always, it's like going back in time.
Really?
Yeah.
Like how so? How so?
Like we stayed at a hotel that just didn't have an elevator.
Oh.
And like we had a lot of bags.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I was hauling those babies, and I just thought, this would not happen in our superpower.
No.
Country.
That's not ADA compliant.
Yeah, stuff like that. Or just how it's slower. It's a slower pace.
I do love that. I would like a little bit of both. I'd
Really?
Like I'd like a slower paced ADA compliant world.
But you know how like they don't really tip.
Somebody
They don't
probably
do
like, that's
tipping?
Florida. They're like,
They don't tip, and so the service. This remember when we were in
Oh.
Brazil?
oh my God. It was like that in Italy. I've never waited longer for an omelet in my entire life.
Yeah. And like the British people genuinely don't think it would be that big of a difference. It is so noticeable. You're just like dying of thirst, you know? Stuff like that. But
People do get back from Europe and say nobody overseas drinks water like we do. What's the deal? Why are we all so fucking thirsty over here?
yeah, and they don't do ice. Like the beers are warm.
Yeah.
And if you get a water, it's just water. There's no ice in there.
Right.
Listen, we're hot over here, okay? I don't know what to tell you.
I know.
But listen, you know how like I always have, the saying that we talk about that they say in medical communities that if you hear hoof sounds, it's probably horse, not zebra.
Right.
But I am always a zebra, right?
Right.
This is what we learned where I thought I was going through perimenopause, but it was Grover's disease,
Oh
remember?
my God. What? Yeah.
Okay, so this time I thought I had like I thought it was a spot or a pimple, like a blemish on my neck.
Okay.
Because it looked like a zit, like
Yeah.
just a
yeah.
red, but it was big and it was swollen. And my sister-in-law used to
Did
be a
it hurt?
nurse. It hurt in the way that a big pimple would hurt,
Okay.
but
all
it
right,
didn't itch and it wasn't like scary painful. But I said to my sister-in-law, like, hey, what's cooking here? What do you think? And she was just like making jokes about how she thought I was like allergic to my mother-in-law, which maybe. But she concluded
That's a
that
good
it was
joke.
probably a spot. So I felt pretty fine about it. And like over time, it slowly reduced in swelling like a zit would. But then we got back, and then my whole face started to swell up once we got back to the States. I don't know why it was like delayed, but like my lips and my cheeks and all of my face started to like balloon.
Then what?
I went to the doctor, and she
That's
said,
terrifying, Sue. I'm like, what is wrong with you?
She said, "Oh, that's a bite. You got bit
You got bit by a spider and you're, oh my God, I pulled
by
off the
something.
microphone.
What could it be?
Whoa. You got bit by a spider on the neck Like, if that isn't vampire
Right.
slash...
I'm going to be a superhero. Oh, we went in different directions with that.
Yeah, we
Spider-Man,
did.
hello.
Well, or vampire, next.
Right. Either way, I'm going to transform into something very powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
That's
on steroids
like everybody's
right now.
worst nightmare.
Because,
To
what is it, though?
have a bug crawl up and... Or do you think it was like a flying thing? Like, what do they suspect? What do they...
She didn't say, but when we were in England, I was talking
What
about how...
kind of superpowers do you feel like you have?
Right. I was thinking about how in England, they had bad weather historically forever. Everyone's like, it's shitty weather. But like now, it's almost like they're immune from climate change. So while everyone else is like, the cities are collapsing, they're just like, yeah, it's still drizzling over here. And they don't have bears and they don't have snakes. They don't have anything really threatening. So I don't know what it could be that bit me. What
Just
could it
like
be?
No, spiders.
What kind though?
I
They
don't know,
have
Suze.
really like scary
They
ones.
have spiders.
They have the widows maybe.
Just like, I don't know, one that you're like allergic to.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Well,
good
maybe I have like a
story.
real sensitivity because remember when I got bit by the other spider and then it blew up? Yeah. Anyway, everything's fine now.
It's crazy that when you came back here, then the symptoms like blew up.
At first, it was just the left side because that's where it is.
Oh, my brother swallowed a bee once, and that happened. Only it stung him on the inside of his throat, and only half of his face swelled up like Elephant Man, and he is allergic. Could it have been a bee?
I think I would have felt it.
Maybe.
But anyway.
Look, I love that when this happens, every time Susie goes to the doctor, gets diagnosed with anything, I come in with a second opinion. Like I have an MD over here. No, very few letters after my name that would qualify me for that. None, actually.
Well, what have you been up to while I was getting my superpowers?
Well, you were getting your superpowers. I went to California, went to Big Bear for my aunt's 80th birthday. That was a hoot, getting the whole family together.
Yeah.
And it was very inspiring and hopeful because my aunt didn't have children, but she was surrounded by people who felt like her kids, and she would like call her own children, and her family was what she made it. And it was like, okay, I can do this. I can.
Is that on your mind a lot?
Yeah. In my head, I feel like I am 65.
Right.
It is so weird. It's got to be the menopause thing.
Do you think it's physiological,
brain,
though?
No, I think it's my brain. I think it's like
you have it in your head that you're menopausal and so
yeah, but I think no, I think it's physiological, and the hormones that my body is reading that aren't there are telling my brain that this is how old I am. Got it. I look in the mirror expecting to see a 65-year-old woman. I cannot explain this. If anybody else has had the radical hysterectomy and
that's
feels
what they call it.
Yes, which I think if I'm going to have anyone.
Yeah.
I'm going to have the most radical one.
Totally.
Shaka
wow.
bra. So.
Yeah, I wonder if you've had a radical hysterectomy, you should say whether you, I want people to tell you if they felt like that.
Yeah, if they feel like that. Like I look in the mirror and I'm like, oh.
I look great for my age.
I do. That's what I think. I'm like, oh. Yeah, I swear, Susie. Or sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm older. That I feel like I have to remind myself. I'm like 38. That's like a young chicken, spring chicken.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So went to Big Bear. That was really inspiring and hopeful.
Wait, I'm not done with my question.
Oh yeah, okay.
So do you feel whenever you think about the kids thing and not having kids, do you think, okay, what's my life gonna look like, or are you feeling like you're grieving?
No, I feel now I'm on to got to make some meaning in other ways. Got to have that connection. Pivot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so she's like an example of someone who's clearly
pivoted.
Yeah, she's got the community and support and maternal nurturing going on.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got to have a little vacay.
Yeah, little vacay, but it wasn't without excitement in true Rice family fashion.
Mm-hmm. Just like a family of felons.
Yeah, we chartered this pirate ship we're in Big Bear, and Big Bear has a pirate ship that you can rent where they like take you cruise around and they like give you facts about the bay, or, like the lake and stuff. And I love a fact.
Ugh, that's the worst part.
I know. So there's a big group of us now on this pirate ship.
Yeah.
They are like in like a jokey piratey mood, of course. And we come on there and they don't know us.
Did you say your pirate joke?
No, I did not. I said it to the group before, but I did not say it on the boat because I was like, I'm not stealing anything.
It's not my place.
It's not my place. I'm going to let somebody
You thought
else.
maybe the captain would do it and you didn't want to steal his joke. Okay.
Yes. And then he never did it. And I'll tell you why.
Oh.
We lost all joke privileges. It was not a joke. It became not a joke real fast. So somebody from our group asks if we can jump off the side.
Sure.
And somebody from the crew said, "Oh yeah, we like you can jump off," like being sarcastic, I guess. But let's just say there are people in the group who do not pick up on sarcasm. And all of us did hear her say this. Like, oh, yeah, you can. And then apparently they also said, no, you can't, which then also
you just, like,
wasn't heard.
Removed from your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't heard.
My brother went right off the side and in
the old backflip.
No, just to jump off. Now he did it for, I think, the nicest reasons. There were multiple people on board who had to go to the bathroom, and he was like, "Okay, we're all jumping off, right? Everybody has to go to the bathroom." And everybody was like, "No, we're not jumping off," and or maybe they said, "Yeah, we're jumping off. Let's do it." And he was like, "Okay, 1, 2, 3." And then he turned around and he was like, "Wait, I thought all you guys were going to jump with me."
No.
And so he's in the water, and that lake police in 2 seconds was like, "Boop, boop, boop," there.
Oh, that's the worst noise when you hear that.
And we have to turn the whole boat around and have to come pick him up. And this is the part that I hated. God. The captain, who was this dumb idiot, was like, you're a dumb shit. You're a dumb," like kept yelling on the microphone to my brother. And I was like, "Excuse me, do not yell." And I turned into angry sister defending her brother, Sarah. I
would
tore
be
a
really
couple
mad.
People a few assholes that day in defense of Jordan.
What was the captain doing that for?
Because he didn't want to get himself in trouble. Because Susie, now we're gonna have to get into it. So this was my argument. That captain was like, "You're a dumbass," or whatever he said. Some curse word, something that I did not like. Like it was awful. And he said it a lot, like 25 times. And it was clear that he was trying to say it loud enough so that the lake police heard. So he was trying to say, like, absolve himself of any wrongdoings.
That's like what I do with Lincoln, where I'm like, he's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's like, you guy, you're not listening kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, that guy never said, "Don't jump off the boat." In fact, I heard the exact opposite. I heard them say to me, "Oh, yeah, you could jump off the boat." And then later they said, "Well, yeah, you could. We did say you could jump off the boat, but we didn't mean while it was moving." Well, that's very confusing. And how are we supposed to know that? So then we get to shore, and the marina captain is the one who's really, like, I think, responsible for all the boats, whatever. And the marina captain, I say to the marina captain, "You shouldn't," I'm like, I got to yell at somebody, because he was yelling at Jordan, and they were like giving Jordan a hard time. And I was like, "Don't yell at him. They gave him permission to do it. I heard him. We all heard them say, you can jump off." And he said, "Oh, so if you're on an airplane and the pilot says you could jump off out of the plane, you're good. Is it the pilot's fault?" And I said, if a pilot tells a group of 10-year-olds jump out of the plane, I'm pretty sure that whoever pays the pilot would have some answering to do. And like, and then he put his hand on my shoulder and I was like, you better get your fucking hand.
Did you
off.
say it?
Yes. I said, sir, get your fucking hand off of my shoulder right this second. And I said it calmly and he did it immediately. And I was everybody in my whole family afterwards were like, Jordan's the hero, but also I love seeing your whole family go to bat for each other because every one of us were like, you don't talk to my brother like that, you know? And we even sent Lucas in there. Like Lucas was supposed to be firefighter guy. Like he's wearing like, you know, he's got the look and the walk, but he's all riled up because they called his brother a jerk too, or like a dumb fuck or whatever they called him. You know, it's his brother too, so he feels for Jordan. And so I go, Lucas, go over there and like firefight, do your thing, and like talk to him and like, you know, use the lingo. Like maybe there's some like
routine.
Use the code. Lucas goes in with the exact opposite energy, and he goes in hotter than me, and he's like, what are you doing over there? I was like, whoa, Lucas, wrong energy. You back in the line, not you. I'll take over. Like, I was like, that was not what I was expecting. But then I was like, look at all of us. Like, nobody's going to fuck with us. If you fuck with one of us, you fuck with all three of us.
But it seems like a really big response for what you told me the penalty was.
Well, yeah, because they didn't tell us what the penalty it was until
you thought
afterwards.
He was going to get arrested or what?
Yes, I didn't know. We didn't know what was going on, and they were like, because they were like, the police are there. They're like, we need to see we need his driver's license, we need his name, and then they were like, they were asking all these questions in like a shady way. They're like, so everybody here is in your party, yes, everybody, and we were like.
Yeah, you don't want to say the wrong thing.
What's the right answer to this? They made it seem like it was a big deal. So then and then what I didn't like is them pointing the finger and saying like it was all his fault and then saying that they're not responsible even though they said that he could jump off. You know, that was the thing I didn't like. And then, I mean, it's like a half an hour goes by and they're like, so like, what's the consequence here? And they're like, it's a $25 fine.
Oh my God.
And then I realized
why would they lead with that?
Way hot for $25. I thought somebody was leaving in handcuffs.
For real. Like, I feel like the Murdoch family was like less upset about all the murders that went on. They were like, is there a problem here?
I think you're right. And then I was thinking, I'm like, fuck. I mean, don't mess with us, but also they really should have led with this is only a $25 fine.
Yeah,
that also you can go online and pay.
Oh my God, it's a fine. It's like a parking meter expired.
They were like, well, if you want to come out here and do it in person. I was like, want to come out here? We don't even live in the same state, sir. I thought they would just let him go if, but not after me getting riled up.
Wow.
I just wanted that marina captain or whatever he is, marina guy, to recognize that in the future, if he has a group, he cannot make jokes or his employees shouldn't make jokes that people may take as fact.
Yeah, right. Usually those boating people are real into safety.
Apparently not the pirate community.
Or the Titanic. Neither of those boats follow the normal protocols.
No, they did not. I got no briefing, no like stay on the boat at all. Like that's all you have to say. They did more at the freaking Jungle Cruise at Disneyland.
Yes, right.
Hands and arms inside.
Life vests are underneath.
Right. None of that. No, zero.
Man alive.
And they did it. No, man overboard.
Also alive though.
Also alive. It was great.
Tell you what else is great, and that's how even when I was away, I could still be able to tell when my cats had done their business. Thanks to the good people at Litter Robot who have given me basically the most advanced technology in my home that is being used on my cats.
You couldn't put a price on not having to touch that litter.
You said it. Because that is the worst thing about having cats.
And like, what if, like, don't they, I mean, if you're not even able to be by that litter when you're, or like by all the junk
like
when
harmful,
you're pregnant, like, it's like a really not a good, it shouldn't, We shouldn't be touching that stuff.
Yes, we need a robot for this job, and Litter Robot is to the rescue. This thing is it's sleek. It actually looks nice, but the cats go into this thing, do their business, and then I can go on the app and it'll say what time. It'll say if they're gaining weight, which they probably are thanks to Smalls, and they can detect any kind of weirdness or whatever, and they alert you of like what's cooking with these cats, and they were probably missing us.
Definitely missing you.
I felt close to them.
And updated and taken care of.
They are taken care of, and the Litter Robot is great. If you have a cat, this is like the ultimate. This is like the Tesla of litter boxes. As a special offer to listeners of the show, go to stopscooping.com/braincandy and enter promo code braincandy to save an extra $50 on any Litter Robot bundle. That's an extra $50 off any Litter Robot bundle at stopscooping.com/braincandy and enter promo code braincandy at checkout. Stopscooping.com/braincandy and enter promo code braincandy.
There's a spider crawling down my wall right now. And we're just going to let him. It's so funny that I mind him way less than the mouse.
Well, beware.
I know. Your story made me
I've been
think.
hurt way more by spiders than little
Nice.
Mickey. Yeah. All right. Let's get down to business.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's get down to
I mean,
business.
you probably already watched it, but
What?
did you watch the documentary? Wait, let me get the right name. It's called Tell Them You Love Me.
No. What is this? What is this?
Netflix. It's a Louis Theroux. You know Louis Theroux from the BBC?
Of course I do.
We love him.
He's on my top 5 list.
Yeah, he's awesome. You mean like of hunks or like documentarians?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hunks.
Oh, wow.
Don't you feel like he's young Jeff Goldblum? Like,
yeah,
good
point.
If Jeff Goldblum and
British
David
Jeff
Attenborough,
Goldblum.
got together and like, yeah.
Yeah. This documentary is fascinating and disturbing. Here's the gist.
Tell them you
love me. It's about this white woman who has a PhD. She teaches ethics, and I forget which university, and she focuses on African studies and also disability rights. And she's esteemed, and she grew up in a home where her parents were both active in working with people with disabilities, special needs. And so she's very comfortable with people that have all sorts of limitations or differences, and has always sort of embraced this idea that she wanted to champion that they have equal rights. And also she presents herself as someone who really is disturbed when people mistake a disability for maybe someone being stupid. And so
she doesn't infantilize them.
Yeah, and she wants to give anyone with a disability that is limited in how they can communicate the ability to do that. And so she was teaching and lecturing about this, and one of her graduate students is a black man who said, this video that she had showed of like somebody who was autistic and nonverbal, and then they gave them like a keyboard and then somebody to sort of guide them to use it. It's called facilitated communication. And then she was able to like go to college, and they thought she was low IQ, but she wasn't.
Yeah.
And once he watched that, he said, this looks like how my brother is. He has cerebral palsy and developmental, what's the word? Intellectual disabilities, whatever. But like, if he could communicate, that would be awesome. And she's like, well, I could come by and like do an assessment to see if he would even be eligible for it. Yeah. And so she did. And then she got involved with the family and said, I think I could teach him to use it, and we could see what happens. So then she does. And just some context about facilitated communication, like there has to be somebody either like stabilizing their arm, because cerebral palsy often is it's a muscle problem. And so then they can't steady themselves and whatever. And so there's always been controversy about like to what degree these people are actually determining what they're typing and to what degree their aid is doing it. It's like a Ouija board situation.
Ooh. Yeah.
And so she worked with them for a really long time. And she loves it. And she's like super into it. She's the only person that is having any success being his assistant. His brother tried, his mom tried. They did not have the same results.
Oh, that's not good. I think rule number 1 of an experiment, if something's successful, then you have to be able to repeat it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, according to her, they fell in love. And
your face tells me that maybe they were not actually in love.
This is a person from my point of like from anybody's like outsider point of view.
Yeah.
He can't really keep a eye contact. He has to be assisted if he tries to walk. It's what you would consider maybe 6 months to 12 months old, like ability, crawling, stuff like that.
Right.
His favorite hobby is playing with hangers.
Okay.
So
this is right.
To me, that's a little bit more than just like a lack of verbal ability. Right. That's somebody who has the interest that a baby or a toddler has.
Right. You cannot have the depth necessary for a real adult relationship.
But counterpoint being like, what if he really does have a typical IQ, right? And he's trapped in there. I mean, that would be awful too. And if I were his family member, I would want to give him the chance to share what's going on in his mind. So it's like, I get it.
But if I were trapped and then something gave me the ability to speak, my favorite hobby would not be hangers. It would be the thing that gave me the ability to speak.
He didn't type that. That's just what is reported like in the New York Times and in the court records that he loved hangers, and they mention it in the documentary too. Okay. Okay. So then she and he have a physical relationship that she claims is consensual, that he, not just consensual, but that he seduced her. And that she's married to a black man. I say the race because she's white. This man is, the man that has cerebral palsy is black and her husband is black. I just think we all can see some patterns in this gal's life because she also is a scholar of African studies, which when a white person is doing that, I just think it's notable. Right. Doesn't mean anything's wrong with it. It's just notable when you see patterns.
Yeah. My dad also taught African American studies.
Got it.
Just something to note.
So they have sex. How, you ask? Well, you can watch the documentary and hear it about all the details. And it is really not pleasant to listen to because this is a person who is not in control of his body. And so you either have to believe that he really was consenting or so anyway, the family, she tells the family they're in love.
Yeah, what does the family think?
Well, at first they said, you're fired and don't contact us again. And then she reached out to like his daycare provider and tried to contact him. And so then they called the police. And that's what, then they had a trial for rape. And
oh my God.
You know, can this person consent? And
whoa.
It's unbelievable.
What did you feel by the end of it?
Well, I think she believes she's telling the truth.
Okay.
I don't think she's purposefully lying, but she fell in love with herself.
Oh.
she was rewriting the responses. They were like poetic and like literate and like highly sophisticated.
Yeah.
And
she felt, wow. I think that's criminal.
But I don't think they know they're doing it. It's like the Ouija board thing. They think that this guy is doing it. But they tested him without her, and he wasn't answering. Like, it's not like he was like, no,
that's
wait, I
not
love her.
right. That's what do you mean only she can do it? That doesn't make any sense.
She said he preferred her.
I bet she wants that.
His dick?
Oh my God.
No, what you mean?
No, but I love that you went there. I mean, yes.
What
but
do
I
you
meant,
mean? Once what?
Once
you said she wants that.
She wants him to prefer her.
Oh,
she would want. I bet she wants that. I bet she wants him to. Oh my God.
I just was like, well, I think she did.
She did.
She said that. Anyway, you have to watch it, Sarah.
I do. Yeah, I have to.
What have you been watching?
Oh my God, do you really want to know? It must be because I've been missing you, but I have watched 8 seasons of the UK show Taskmaster.
What is that?
Taskmaster is with comedian. You think I'd know his name after this many episodes?
Stephen Merchant?
Watching. No.
Ricky Gervais.
Craig. Something. Greg Davies.
Daniels.
Greg Davies. Davies or Daniels? Greg
Davies.
Davies, I think so. Really tall British guy. But he is a comedian who hosts, an actor, hosts a show where he plays the Taskmaster and other comedians come on and they are given these totally obscure tasks that they have to do, and then he judges them and assigns points to them, and it's ridiculous and silly, and it's a British game show. And I've been watching with British comedians.
We have been watching very different things.
Very different things.
But what does that show have to do with you missing me? Because I'm getting offended.
Oh, because you were in England.
Because you're my Taskmaster.
No, you were in England, and it was a show with a bunch of British people.
Okay, got
it. It's a show that takes place in England.
Was this suggested to you?
I kept seeing clips come up on Instagram, and I was like, what are these clips from? These clips are hilarious. Instagram knew, and I was like, yes. What's that guy's name he's a comedian, James A.
Yeah, I know who you mean. Yeah.
He was on there.
Mm.
And I'm like, well, now I have to watch this whole entire
him.
thing.
Yeah,
and then Noel Fielding was on there, and I watched his season. They're so funny. Susie, it's going to be your family's new favorite show.
Yeah, we would love that. Yeah.
So,
Sarah.
Everybody laugh at Sarah because she's watching the funny TV show, but all y'all are going to be watching it.
Believe me.
And I'm pretty sure Lucas's entire fire station is watching it too, because I watched an episode with him, and he's like, oh yeah, this is good. So.
Listen, nobody's thinking like, oh, haha, Sarah. They're thinking like, why is Susie watching like special needs, like disabled?
They're probably thinking, Sarah, why aren't you learning things? I have so many documentaries to catch up on. It's like embarrassing.
I hope while you're doing that, you'll be wearing your Honey Love, because I know I will be. Those were in my carry-on because I couldn't bear the thought of like if we lost my luggage.
That's the best airport outfit.
Yeah. Yeah, it was my change into because when we first flew, it was to, a domestic location. And then for the long haul, I was like, I got to put on those Honey Loves because they are the best, comfiest leggings on planet Earth. I'm convinced. So high quality, so flattering.
They hold you in. And I keep seeing this on Instagram where they say, everybody's asking what kind of underwear are all the cute gym girlies wearing. And it's like, surprise, none. But like, there's not a lot of pants that you could do that with. Yeah. You do not have to worry about that because they've got built-in stuff for you.
They got you. You don't have to wear skivvies if you don't want to.
That's right.
This shapewear is the best. Breathable fabric. You'll love it. All their stuff is great. They have a deal. Here's what you need to do. Treat yourself to the best bras and shapewear on the market. Save 20% off at honeylove.com/braincandy. Use our exclusive link to get 20% off, honeylove.com/braincandy. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show. Tell them we sent you. Summer vibes are just getting started, honeys. Shape your life with Honey Love.
I like that. Honeys.
Yeah, baby. Okay. You got to watch that documentary because
Absolutely. I have to watch that, the Reading Rainbow one, the Jim Henson one.
Oh, there's so many.
I know.
Yeah, you're behind. And the thing that gets why it's such a great example is that it's a woman predator, theoretically.
Right.
And also that she's so credible. She's an accomplished, attractive, articulate woman who seems very well-meaning and likable and nice in every other way. But
yeah,
something ain't right. Because even if you did fall in love, even if you believed he was in love with you too, you would know this is inappropriate. I need to sort it out because other people need to be able to see that he is consensual or whatever.
Yeah, and she couldn't do that. I have to watch it. I wonder what else was going on.
It's intense.
Good find, Suze.
Okay. That was real heavy, though. Let's go to something like also heavy, but more kind of funny because not really, though.
Please. Now, you're
if you have a dark sense of humor.
This is like a Sarah introduction. Okay, I'm going to tell you this.
It's funny, but it's not.
You're right. I'm going to give you 5 minutes of an intro before I even tell you what the hell we're talking about.
Okay, well, this lady in California was killed by a bear. Okay, I know that's sad. That's very sad. In her home. In her home.
Okay, I'm going to try to not make a joke right now. Okay, go.
So,
oh my God,
this
that's
bear
terrifying.
Had been harassing her for months. She had this relationship with it where, like, she would tell her friends, like, she called him big bastard.
She swore it was consensual.
He
had a little device.
He had a keyboard.
And
right. He loves her. Okay, so,
God.
I mean, he did seem very interested in her. He showed up all the time, and she referred to him as big bastard and, like, told all her friends. And it started as, like, a pest, and then it got more serious where she seemed scared. And she had a garden and a compost heap, and she wasn't great about like getting her garbage out. So like she became a target because there was a lot of stuff.
She's the closest food source.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
And she did talk to the municipality or whatever about it and said what was happening. And they granted her, it's called a depredation permit. It's a last resort option they grant that where you are allowed to shoot the animal because it's so scary before it causes serious harm. But she declined it because she didn't want to hurt the bear. She just wanted to get it away, you know. She added like bars to her windows, like to prevent him from getting in.
Oh my God.
Okay, one day she woke up. This was like 2 weeks before her death. She was awakened because one of her cats was hissing at her cracked bedroom window. And there was a meaty bear arm through the opening, pawing to get inside.
Oh my God.
And she pepper sprayed it and like blasted an air horn and that.
You got to kill that bear.
Got to kill the bear.
I'm sorry.
It's like you said about the mouse, him or me.
It's you. Yeah. And
it's more true in her case.
This might be a little more serious.
Okay. So what happened was they found her, the bear. The bear found her sleeping in her bed, pulled her out of her bed and dragged her through her house and gave her crushing injuries and mauled her to death.
Oh my God.
And took a shit in her living room.
What?
It said that. It said there was bear scat.
He really didn't like her.
Yeah, he was like, bitch. Bless you.
Excuse me.
So, R.I.P. to that lady.
That's so scary.
It's scary.
Where was
California.
this?
I read about it in the
city?
San Francisco Chronicle, so it must have been northern
yeah,
California.
I'm going to need to know what city. This is terrifying. I'm about to go to summer camp where there are definitely bears.
Well, it's a big problem.
And we're putting a bunch of children. Could you? Oh my God. Could you imagine?
For real, because that was the point of the article.
We have somebody who stays up at all hours on bear watch.
You have a bear watcher?
Yep.
That's their job?
Yeah, it might be
What
me.
do they have, like a dart gun or something? Or just like a whistle like you people?
Somebody at the camp does have, I'm sure, has one of those.
Where's my whistle?
Guns.
Hold on.
Yeah, get your whistle.
Where did I put it? Oh, here it is.
Bear, get out of here, Bear.
Bear,
That'll
you
be me.
scat rat.
You get out of here, Bear.
You scary guy.
Yeah.
Can you believe, though, because they're getting... Listen, bears are like people. Some of them, they're shy. They don't want to get involved. They just want a nice pile of trash.
Right.
But some of them,
are
like
hungry.
the Jeffrey Dahmer bears.
Yeah. Oh, my God. That's actually a really good point.
Because they call them public safety bears. I think that's what they call them. The ones that are like real aggressive.
If you look at like what percentage of bears are actually aggressive, it might line up to what percentage of humans are actually aggressive. And then how mad at them can we be?
Right. I mean,
the bears, not the humans.
Bears are people too. It's like they have their own true crime.
That's a wild story. You're not even safe in your own home. It feels like we're hearing more about this, about the, as we push further into
they've had it with
their territory. They're like, no.
I mean, they are a little too hungry, though. I mean, God, how much do you need?
Well, I mean, yeah, I see. I get your point. Like a lot. If you're not going to eat for the next 5 months, however long they're in hibernation for, 3 months.
I mean, just go to a dumpster. They're everywhere.
Yeah, you don't need to eat grandma.
Yeah, I think that he developed like a real, like it was, they were enemies.
I think he had a taste for blood. Oh, okay. They were enemies. Thought maybe he had sampled a small child the previous summer.
The ending is that they, I swear to God, this is what's funny about the story to me. They collected DNA from the crime scene, bear DNA.
Yep.
And then they caught a bear in her yard like 2 days later because they wanted to catch this guy.
Yeah.
And they checked the DNA. It was him.
Yep, same guy.
Off with his head. He got shot with a pistol.
Oh, well,
Dead.
you know, I'm sorry, but
Death
usually
penalty.
I'm not for killing animals like that, but that one's we got to do something.
Heck yeah.
Getting aggressive.
What are you going to do, though, when you're at camp? Because this is scary.
Not use bear bells, because I hear those things just attract them.
What's a bear bell?
Oh, there are these bells that you could put like on a walking stick or on your shoes or something. They're bells. They're like your whistle.
They're just bells.
They're just bells. And it's supposed to be like, it's making noise and it's alerting the bear that you're coming down the trail.
Oh,
but most bears are curious. And they'll be like, huh, what's that? And go right up to it. So that will have the opposite effect and it will actually draw them in. And
do they let you use bear spray? Or is that like...
I mean, I'm not bringing
forbidden?
any up, but I bet if a bear were in camp and one was getting a little rowdy, I scared one away last year. And by I mean the truck I was in.
What did you do?
You just go, hey, bear, get out of here, bear. Leave. Go away, bear. Go, bear. And just do a lot of like clapping like, okay.
Wait.
Get out of here.
Wait, from inside the vehicle?
We were in the trunk of the truck. And we were shooing it up the hill because it had come down like, what's going on down here?
Yeah,
like, get up there. Yeah, it was moseying. Like,
do you really think that those proclamations were
100%?
What?
Because it doesn't move, and then you have to like yell at it, and you have to do it in a tone. I swear. Listen, I am going to say this, and if you are not somebody who's a camp person or has been around bears, you're going to be like, that's not possible.
Yeah.
And if you are, you're going to be like, yeah, and that's the exact, I don't know where we all learned this tone, where you have to go, hey, bear. Hey, like, and it's like TV. Hey, bear. Hey, bear.
You definitely learned it from Yogi Bear.
Yeah, but it's not the I know what you mean, like hey hey boo boo, but it's not that. Or hey boo boo, but it's not. It's just like, oh hey bear. Maybe it is that, but everybody does that. Hey
Sarah.
bear.
And you were telling me that particular tone.
Yep, it gets them. They know.
Hey bear.
Hey bear.
You gotta go deep
bear.
like that?
Yeah, you gotta go deep, and you gotta do like a big like clap, big body movements, big clap above your head. That's it. This is how to scare away bear 101.
What would happen if you did like a really big yell? That would not be. They would get mad by that.
Oh, I'll try it.
Well, yeah, because I'm wondering maybe that would be
If I were just
better.
like like that.
Yeah, or just like like screaming at, get out of here.
Well, you went low. See what you just did there?
Okay, so you think it's the
matched energy?
Register.
It's got to be vibes. Something.
What if I did it?
You
like,
tried
get
to
out
go
of here.
I'm not following. I'm a bear who's not falling for that.
Yeah, you're like, okay, Suze.
Yeah, like I'm back to my berries over here.
Hey, bear.
Yeah, there you go. That's very good. I'm telling you, the bear people know. We will have people write in for this. I know. Like, I want this clip.
There's no way. There's no way they're going to be like, yeah, you have to be like almost like monotone.
You can't be like, hey, bear. That's come here.
That one. No,
like,
like
hey,
mean,
bear.
like
get out of here, bear.
Yours
get
sounds like almost like tired. Hey, bear. Like you just woke up.
Hey, bear. Good moving.
Get out of here. Oh, well, okay. I will do that, but I'm just skeptical. That's all.
I'm telling you.
All right.
We'll have people who write in. It'll be great.
Moving on. R.I.P. to that lady.
Had that lady known the voice, maybe she'd still be alive.
Yeah. Her big mistake was she was too mean to the bear. She wasn't sounding tired enough.
Yeah.
Okay, another documentary that like I can't get out of my head, and I kept annoying everyone trying to talk about it, and like nobody took the bait, was the 30 for 30 that is now on Netflix about Oscar Pistorius, the double amputee who was convicted of murdering his girlfriend.
Why wouldn't anybody be into that? We all want to know that story.
This is why I love doing this show. You're
double amputee wanted for murder?
Like an Olympian.
That's a big fall from grace. Well, I need to know what's going on there.
Okay, well, go. Okay, so do you think,
a lot to lose
right now, do you think he killed her intentionally, or it was some sort of intruder confusion? Just like, what's your gut say?
I don't even know enough.
Really? At the time, you never thought, oh, yeah, he's guilty or he's not?
I probably thought, oh, yeah, he's guilty. Because I always think, oh, yeah, he's guilty.
Oh, yeah, he's a man.
It's the husband. Come on, it's always the boyfriend.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Until you prove me wrong. So I'm going to go in with that assumption. Sorry. It's the horses. You know what it is? It's the fucking horses and zebras thing.
Yeah.
That's horses. Me thinking hearing.
If there's a dead girlfriend.
I'm thinking husband. Until the serial killer or foul play would be the zebra.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So that's what I thought too. I really did. I thought he was guilty as heck. This documentary series is 6 episodes, but it's more than an hour each. It's like 8 hours.
Whoa.
So I watched it so you don't have to, because you people have lives. But I loved it because I really was shocked at how uninformed I was about like sort of just the rudimentary facts of what happened.
Yeah.
Because the way that it was discussed, it was like, you know, this guy admits that he shot his girlfriend. He claims that he thought there was an intruder. But other like neighbors heard yelling. Maybe they were fighting.
Yeah.
It was probably that. Okay. But now that I know what actually happened, I'm like, this guy really did probably have like the ultimate error.
Oh my God.
And then was
Tell
convicted.
me.
Okay.
Good story, Suze.
I've been waiting weeks to tell you about this.
Oh my God.
So, first of all, what I loved is they showed his life leading up to it. And like, whenever you would see him in the Olympics or racing, he was incredible. I mean, the Blade Runner, like this guy that he's double amputee, but he's got those blades that are like amazing, and he looks so powerful and whatever. But when you see him throughout his life, you see that this is a person who's had a lot of challenges. He was born with legs, but they didn't have a fibula, whatever the big leg bone is down there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And so they were useless, and so they had to amputate them. He even had feet and everything. Like, they were just in the way.
That's wild.
Yeah. I never heard of that where they're like, yeah, we're going to just amputate.
You're just missing a bone.
Yeah.
And both.
Both. Yeah. So they amputated them at 11 months.
Wow.
And so then his family was of that mindset of like, you're just the same as your siblings. You're nothing different. And so there was all this home video footage of him like running around on like they call them stubs. I didn't know if that was like what you're supposed to call them, but that's what they call them. Yeah. So running around on his stubs, and it's like adorable and cool and amazing. Then he gets good at racing, blah, blah, blah. You know the rest of that part. But then he is in this relationship, and it's kind of like a newer relationship, but they seem happy. And this is what happened. It's February 13th. They go to bed, and he removes his legs to sleep. Mm-hmm. And he likes like fans going. There was like a reason for it, but he likes that fan situation. Mm-hmm. So he has these fans set up, and in the middle of the night, he wakes up and he wants to turn them off and like close the balcony door. And so he gets up, and his girlfriend says, "Oh, can't you sleep up us?" And that's like very relatable. That's like what we would do in my house. Like, "Oh, you can't sleep uppies." Yeah. And he said, "No, whatever. I'm going to turn the fans off." So he gets up and he's moving the fans. And you know how like when you move a fan, it creates like this sound barrier weirdness where like you kind of get disoriented and you can't hear everything because that fan's like right in your head. Unbeknownst to him, while he's moving the fans, she got up from bed and went to a bathroom that was attached down a hallway in the room to use the bathroom. Yeah. And when she's in the bathroom, she opens the window, and it makes like a loud screeching noise that sliding windows can do. And he hears it and thinks, there's an intruder in my bathroom. Mm-hmm. Goes around his bed, grabs his gun, and yells to his girlfriend, who he thinks is in bed behind him, "Call 911, there's an intruder." Oh. And he's going down the hall.
Oh, that's the yelling. And
she hears that there's an intruder, and so she thinks there's an intruder in the bedroom where he is. Uh-huh. She runs into like the toilet that has a separate door within the bathroom. Yeah. And she closes the door, and now he's heard that.
Oh my God. When you run it like that, that's totally an accident.
Right? So then she's locked into this bathroom. He says he thinks that that's an intruder, and he starts shooting through the door.
Oh my God.
Then
he's not half awake.
He's on his stubs still. He has no legs on. And they recreated it with him on his stubs, and you realize how like this isn't this powerful Olympian. This is like a guy that can not really walk. Right. And so he's like backing down the hall and going back to the bed where he thinks she is.
And nobody would choose to kill somebody without your legs on that provide you all of the ability to like have the control or power of the situation.
So he kind of backs onto the bed and he's like, "Call 911, there's an intruder," or whatever. And then he realizes she's not in the bed and realizes that was her in the toilet.
Oh my God.
So he starts screaming. He opens the balcony doors up, starts screaming out into the neighborhood, help, help, come, help, whatever. Then he runs down the hall and grabs his cricket bat and starts bashing down the bathroom door
to get her out. Yeah.
So then,
whatever. No, this is like, I'm so sad.
So all of these witnesses that heard whatever, they say they woke up when they heard the gunshots. Then they heard screaming, which they claimed was fighting, but it was him yelling for help.
Right.
Because she was already dead by then, so she couldn't have screamed after the gunshots, even if he had done it, like purposefully. And so then they say they heard more gunshots, but it really was him breaking down the door with the cricket bat.
Yeah. Oh, God.
And I'm like, this guy.
Where is he now?
Well, he was convicted. And I guess in South Africa, they don't have like the double jeopardy law because he was convicted and got 5 years for manslaughter, like their equivalent of manslaughter. And then they retried him and then convicted him of murder. And then he got 6 years. Then they retried him again and he got 15. And so
damn.
Yeah. I don't know why they kept retrying him or what that's all about, but so now he's finally out because it's been so long, but he's like on parole.
Oh my God. I feel so guilty for even just having those thoughts.
Well, but I mean, a lot of people, like her family still thinks it was.
Well, they have to because then the alternative is you sent somebody who really did love your daughter to prison for 15 years.
It was gripping. The trial, God. Like the crying that he did, because like, you can't imagine. Because you know, this is always my biggest fear that I'm going to go to jail for something like I did on accident.
Right.
But I mean, Adam said, like, why would you shoot at a closed door? Like, who does that? I said, well, maybe a double amputee that doesn't have his legs on who's scared.
Yeah. Of somebody who's vulnerable and then worried about their girlfriend. And this is like the one chance. And he knows if he gets out of there, he won't be able to fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, and they do, obviously, in 8 hours, they provide the context of South Africa and that Oscar was like this well-to-do, wealthy white family. And then they have all these fears about like Black South Africans. There's kind of like a culture of fear. And they demonstrated that he had been careless with firearms previously. I mean, he's not like just some guy. There's more to it.
Yeah, there was
you could make
like when there's smoke, there's fire kind of thing, or like there was stuff going on.
Yeah, but I just felt like, holy crap, like that he's been through a lot.
And do we know all of this from his story now or from the evidence, like the police evidence?
The thing that convinced me is from the evidence.
Yeah. Okay.
Like they had his family and stuff like that. And like my sister said, well, what if we got an 8-hour documentary about her or, you know, whoever, like if you're hearing all this stuff about like, oh, he's a double amputee and then you start to feel bad, I get it.
Yeah.
But that all lined up and even the prosecution basically had to say like, yeah, that wasn't her screaming. She would have already been dead at that point.
This was a lot of like wrongfully accused story, like the bear, it just feels like there's a theme. I don't know what it is.
The spider. I'm sorry. I just like these things have been on my mind and you're the only one that cares.
Oh, I care so much. I'm so glad. And
what's
our
wrong
listeners
with us
care.
though? Like, why don't other people like?
No, they're
do. Always like.
They are
let's
listening.
Talk about
right
the Real
now.
Housewives. No, but like in
we
life.
talk about them too sometimes.
Do you ever feel like that though when you bring up stuff people are like bored?
Yeah, but not everybody, and that's what I try to do: find the people who aren't bored with the things that I bring up.
So thanks to the Brainiacs for not being bored.
Yeah.
And like,
we love you guys.
If anybody did watch the 8 hours of Oscar Pistorius, can you tell me like if you concluded the same thing?
Yeah.
Or not?
We got some documentaries to watch. This is good, Suze.
That was the tip of the iceberg, but thank you for being here, being willing to listen.
You survived your spider bite. Question
So
mark as
far.
to what kind of spider bite is.
Yeah. Now I'm on
What else
steroids, so I'm
happened?
probably really strong.
Oh, yeah. So strong.
Don't forget to use our codes because Lord knows I can't get a normal job.
Keep
Thanks
the lights
for
on around
listening.
here.
We love you.
5-star review. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.